And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran from South Korea representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Speaking of, I see in the YouTube chat, is it me or was the game lagging? That was annoying. Yeah, I fully understand. I mean, imagine trying to cast a slideshow, Pappy. It doesn't feel good casting it either. That's in reference to game one earlier, how unfortunately there were some brutal latency issues or in-game connectivity issues. But again, like that's all resolved. It's all resolved as Ryung, he does move out across the map and he's going in for the eBay block. Okay, so a cheeky start here by Ryung. NightMare, he goes to the probe scout to check for a proxy at the third location. He doubles back around, checking the fourth, checking the linear third base before bouncing back. But by the time he does, the progression of this eBay will be too great. So a very nice start here for Ryung, as Ryung, he will delay the expansion quite heavily and might even force the unnatural natural. There we go. Take it slow, Papi. We don't gotta rush. Take your time. It does go for the pylon. Zelda's on the way, so NightMare, he refuses to expand at the third location. He wants to try to break this position and take the natural. It's going to be a delayed natural base for NightMare. So delayed nexus. A couple of boys are being pulled. It does force out the zealots. And Ryung has a pretty nice start here to game one. Behind this is going for the factory before CC. He can't afford the command center because of the money invested into the eBay. So he's going for the factory instead. If you get the earlier cancel and the earlier refund, then you can get the CC faster. But alas, there's a cancellation. Base is being taken. And we are not going for an add-on swap. Okay. You have my attention. One base soul at that. Gumiho, is that you? Let's go, Ryung. Okay. So Ryung, he delays the economy, he disrupts the build of NightMare, and he follows up with a one base soul in. I assumed it was going to be Rax into factory into CC. This is Rax into factory into a second Rax. No command center in sight. One base soul in. Okay. So Ryung, he's committing, he's doubling down. Behind this, we are waiting for the Raxes. Yep, there we go. You can see the starport as well. No command center whatsoever. It's all or nothing. And what's important is that this Rax and this starport are further back. You can check the vision here for NightMare. NightMare, he sees nothing. He does see reactor marine, but for all he knows, there could be a CC further back. He did get quite a bit of vision though. Typically, if there was a command center, it'd be here on the right or here on the left-hand side. So seeing nothing is looking pretty suspicious. It's a very suspicious early game here from Ryung, and we'll see how NightMare responds. He hasn't confirmed, but I'm sure this is raising questions. So far, we're getting a second gateway, third gateway. Okay, so 3 gates set up on 2 bases. Very safe play here from NightMare. Very safe. And we should be seeing a robo. But the push is coming. We're waiting for the medevac. We're waiting for the medevac, and then bam, Ryung, he can send that across the map. He may opt to pull some boys. And the goal here is to get on top of the pylon. Is to get the tank within range, siege up, take over the natural, and just snowball from there. There's that robo. But again, it was a robo after the third gateway. So I don't know if this is really going to come into play, I'll be honest. Remember, this is Nartos' pylon, but we're actually, I love this. NightMare is getting a backup pylon behind this, so the robo will stay powered, even if the first pylon goes down. So really nice setup here from NightMare. Already getting ready for the worst. Tank has arrived. We have a couple of boys here to repair. And the tank will siege. Yeah, tank does siege up. Does focus on the stalkers. Oof. Yeah, stalkers getting very low. And the lock-on is brutal. Yeah, brutal lock-on takes out one of the stalkers. The army's moving in. Again, this first pylon will go down, but remember, there's a backup pylon. So Robo's under fire. And we're building up those stalkers bit by bit. That Robo's not long for this world. It's going to go down as well. So no mortar production. Second tank has arrived. Ryung, he's within range of the ramp. Yeah, he's within range. Nexus is gonna fall. You see NightMare trying to rotate around. Does he respond in time? There's a blink. There's a dive. He dives in. He gets one. Oh my god, he barely gets one. He's gonna get both tanks, but at a brutal cost. He loses almost every single stalker. Was that enough though? Down to 4 stalkers. Another tank is coming. Another tank is coming. Shout out to the MVP shield battery. More shield batteries on the way. Ryung, he can't lose too much. He has to buy time for the tank. The tank is the backbone of the army. Where's the Viking? Oh, he's sieging up quite far back, but he's within range of the Nexus. Here he comes. There goes to the dive. Oh, he will 3-shot at barely 2. But he'll cost him too much. You're down to 3 stalkers. He will not save the expansion. A brutal loss there for NightMare. Yeah, brutal loss, and NightMare is down to 4 stalkers. He's trying to hang on. I mean, shout to the shield batteries. Another shield battery does finish up. Ooh, bit of a nerve extension there from Ryung. More stalkers on the way. Another tank has arrived. He's got Onomas. Yeah, it's a hard call to make here to siege up or not. Oof. As Ryung, he's running out of steam. Oh, the juggling though. Oh my god. The micro. Oh, saves the Viking. The Viking is so close to falling. And again, if he sieges, then we're going to see a blink. That's the problem here. Oh my god. We'll lose one more. Ah, he'll lose both Vikings. Both Vikings go down. Down to 1 tank, 2 Marines. Up to 2. Okay. 2 tanks left over. SCVs, they move into repair. Tanks can finally siege up. Just the 1. Intentionally so. Yeah, just 1 tank. Tank goes down to 3 stalkers. GG, it is enough, and Ryung, he will overwhelm, he will break through, and Ryung, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh, also, my apologies, I'll fix the overlay. But GG, well played. Ryung, he does take the first game here. A very, very intense game 1. I do apologize for not fixing that overlay. I was just engrossed in the game, Pappy. Oh my god. But GG. GG. Whew. Very intense game 1, but again, it all began thanks to the eBay block, right? All began from the eBay. As I do have a bit of a lobby bug. There we go, beautiful. We're in. We are in. And game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Go. Getting into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Going to be loading into a much larger map. Much larger map. Let's go. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. Now, welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps of the map pool, longer resistance by ground, and much more defensive as well. I wouldn't be opposed to a proxy setup, by the way, so I wouldn't be surprised if NightMare does scout for proxies just in case. Ryung, he did already kind of set the tone for the series with game 1, but this would not be a good map for a 1-base all-in because it takes so much longer to walk across the map. So it wouldn't make too much sense. 2-base all-ins can still work here. We'll see how Ryung does approach this. I should also emphasize as well that Ryung, he is known to play mech in this matchup, even on the latest patch, even after the nerf of battle mech. He doesn't play battle mech, that's why. He does play a more traditional form of a tank into Hellion Viking. We'll see if we can get there, though. We'll see if that's going to be the case. It's going to be in the back of my mind, at least, in this series, just because it is something that Ryung does whip out from time to time. So when it comes to Tokamak, I don't think this would be a bad map for mech, but otherwise we could see a greedier build instead. We could see a faster third CC. For now, Rax expand single gas opener, economic start out of Ryung, but the follow-up is what I'm most curious by. Meanwhile, NightMare, he was unable to get into his own game. Behind this, we're expecting a standard opener. We could see 2-gate blink into a third base. Once again, because the map is a little bit larger, we can afford to cut some corners. I'm curious to see kind of like the mental state of NightMare, whether he does cut corners or whether he feels threatened and plays safe because of what happened in Game 1. So we shall see. Oh, hello. Already spicing things up. That's a second Rax, and we're going for a 3 Rax. Okay, this is a bold build here on Tokamak of all maps. For those that are curious, this was very trendy back in 2020, 2021. It's been a couple of years. This used to be very meta back in the Side Delta map pool. I think that was like 2021, 2022, if I recall correctly. It's been a couple of years since this was meta. This is going to be a Mass Marine stim timing, a very, very potent stim timing. But there are weaknesses to this build as well, which is why this build was meta for a time and then did fall off. I'm not too fond of this build specifically on Tokamak because you have to hit that stim timing as quickly as possible. If you don't, then you kind of miss the point of the build, and the fact that this map is so large, I feel like does make this build weaker unless NightMare cuts corners. True, if NightMare does cut corner, if he's greedy, then this can work. The big weakness of this build, as I was alluding to, is the fact that, as you can imagine, we're going into a factory follow-up, into starport, into add-on swap, into reactor medevacs, and what that means is zero tanks, zero tank production. It means that if NightMare were to be hyper-aggressive, or if he were to tech up really quickly into Colossus, and hyper-aggressive I would mean like 4-gate blink Stalker, or tech up quickly into Colossus, he can punish this Mass Marine composition. If you recall back in the day, this is one of the reasons why, I mean, Colossus play was so meta and so common. Even Phoenix Colossus as well. This is back in the meta of Phoenix Colossus. But going to earlier Colossus production would be a way to just shut this down. We even saw some robo openers back in the day as well. Meanwhile, 2 more gates. 2 more gateways, so NightMare is playing safe. He's going 3-gate blink, robo on 2 bases. He's going for a delayed third. So very safe play from NightMare. This is going to be good for him. Considering NightMare, he hasn't scouted. Like NightMare, he has seen nothing in the main base, but as you mentioned, probably because of what happened in Game 1, NightMare is playing very safe here just to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. He doesn't see what's going on, but he'll have the tools to defend regardless. So he does shade towards the main base. We do get a full wall. Stim is almost done, same with combat shields. There's that factory. I will say that this factory feels late. Usually we want all these upgrades to line up with the push, but we don't have the starport yet because the factory was delayed. Yeah, so a bit of a messier build here from Ryung. A little bit messy. Ooh, Ryung trying to catch out these stalkers. As he does move out. Stalkers are amassing. But again, this was a late factory into, again, a delayed starport, into delayed medevac production. Ryung, he does sneak out across the map though. What is that home to defend? We have a recall and 2 stalkers. 2 stalkers. Remember, the main army's across the map, and NightMare, he missed the move out. He stims in. Yeah, he goes for the stim, goes for the dive. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Our probes are going to be going down. He does head straight into the main. Head straight into the main base. There's the second stim. Gets into the mineral line. This is getting out of hand, getting up to 10, 11 probe kills. 11, 12, 13 probes going down. And he wants more. 14, not quite 15, but 14 probes, not bad. And NightMare's economy is crippled. Again, caught completely out of position. And I was concerned this was going to be late because you can see here, like, the medevacs are late, they're delayed, but he got across the map anyway. So cheeky moves there out of Ryung. He got across the map. He snuck out. Third TC is on the way, and now it's on Ryung to survive the counterattack. Remember, the big weakness of this build: no defensive tanks. Oh, and Ryung's out of position. Yeah, Ryung's out of position. NightMare, he has the option to blink into the main. Where are we going? NightMare is looking for the army. He finds it with the observer. Does find Ryung. Ideally, NightMare, he wants to pick up some of these marauders. Does force a stim. Ryung, he gets one. Ooh. Does trade. Nice control out of Ryung, pulling back those marauders. Gets a second stalker and a third. Oh my god. 3, 4. 4 stalkers go down for a marine. Very nice trades out of Ryung. Again, he barely kept those marauders alive. Really nice shuffling of units from Ryung as well. Very nice micro, very nice control. As finally he's going to start losing marauders. Maybe one. There we go. One marauder finally goes down, but it costs so many stalkers. 7 stalkers for 1 marauder. Crazy trades. And now here come the medevacs. Now the marauders are healed up, and NightMare is in trouble here. Now, what does NightMare have? He has Storm. He rushed into Storm, not Colossus. Storms are available, and they can zone. They can buy time. Depending on Ryung's control, he can also try to bait out Storms as well. As Ryung is moving in. He's moving in. Stims forward. There's the first storm. Gets 1 marine. Oh, as we send in the storms. Woodmine goes down. We have 3 more storms in the chamber. Gotta count them. Okay, there's 3 storms. 2 on the ground, 1 in the prism. Prism gets spotted. Too late of a stim. Yeah, stim's too late. Ryung rotates, observer does spot the rotation. Decent mine connection. Decent mines. Ryung, he should be aware of the drop. If you recall, he saw the prism earlier. And the Vikings do respond. They overshoot. Vikings overshoot. Storm comes in. Oh no, the SCVs! No, they left alone! They left idle. 12 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal damage. Ay, ay, ay. 12 SCVs, a nice beginning of a comeback here for NightMare. NightMare, he's had a really shaky early to mid game. That's why there's so much of a supply disparity, but killing 12 SCVs is a good way to come back. So the comeback has begun, but NightMare still needs a little bit more here, just because of the supply lead that Ryung has. Ghosts are on the way. EMPs will soon be available. The ghosts are coming. Here they come. As Ryung moves out, we do see the prism moving in. There is some supply left for him to defend. Here comes the storm. Ooh, little mine shots. Storms are coming in. The EMPs have arrived. And with some well-placed EMPs, Ryung can win this fight. He can break this army. He just needs to connect with the High Templar. High Templar at the stack. He's going for it. Oh, he comes in. Oh my god, brutal EMPs. 0 storms. Yeah, 0 storms left. The base is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we have more High Templar coming in, thankfully. More High Templar move in. They zone away the marauders. They zone away the army. Whew. Now, NightMare has to be careful because his High Templar are very clumped. They're very clumped. Has to be careful. Meanwhile, this is just purely a Zealot drop. This time, no storm. Ryung pulls away. And the prism, oof, gets EMP'd. Nice catching the observer. NightMare's moving in. How many Templar does he have? 7. Okay, 7 Templar. Ooh, good position here for Ryung. EMP, brutal EMP here on the Zealots. But Ryung's out of position. Yeah, he cannot defend his planetary. Does force out some storms. Nice EMPs, and who catches who? Oh god, that was a kill. Yeah, that was a kill. Yeah, NightMare. Yeah, sorry, Ryung, he was completely out of position. He lost the base. That should not have happened. Ryung is almost maxed. But NightMare, he's had some nice moves. Killing 12 SCVs earlier, now 13. The War Prism is still alive, by the way. Prism is still there. As Ryung moves out, the Observer does let NightMare know. And he's moving in. Yeah, he's moving in. Ryung, while we going to the base trade. He turns around. Okay, he turns back around. Does scan. There's, what, one Storm with this army? Not even. Zealous, they get into the mineral line. Ryung once again out of position. Raises home, kills the 4th base. And it's been impressive seeing NightMare get these wins and have this comeback, but it still might not be enough. After the brutal starts, it's just been an uphill battle here for NightMare. We have a couple of Storms. Zealous, they do collapse on the army. You have to pick up. Does it up. Does pull out. Thankfully for Ryung, one Stalker. Only one Stalker. Limited anti-air, the medevacs to get away. And here comes the main army. How many Templar? 2. 2 Templar, they're both full of energy. Scan doesn't reveal them, so Ryung, he knows. Now if Ryung can EMP those Templar, he can win the game. He can break this army. Now EMPs the Zealous, shuts down the Archon. Colossus production has begun. Does spread out the Templar. Templar, they spread. Ryung is pushing in. Oh, we have more. Jeez, he's up to 6 now. To 6 Templar. Zealots are coming for a flank. Nice EMPs. Yeah, nice EMPs, but I believe there's still another Storm available. As Ryung is double expanding. Again, his economy is not what it once was. Colossus have arrived. Yeah, with Colossus, NightMare has a big power spike. The Colossus are here. No Vikings. Viking production just now beginning. And Ryung was pretty all in. Remember, Ryung, he lost so many expansions earlier and so many SCVs. Ryung, he can't keep this up forever. He needed to end the game earlier. And he could have. But again, he was out of position one too many times. And with the help of Colossus, NightMare, he's holding and he's recovering. And Ryung, he doesn't have enough. Ryung, he does not have enough. Force to pull back. Second starport's on the way. And the game is slowing down. And again, the problem here is that Ryung, he was playing very tempo-based. Very tempo-based. Like he was, again, at this point, borderline all-in. His failure to kill the 4th base. Now we have a 5th. Oh, sorry, now the 4th base is up and running here for NightMare. And NightMare, he's, for the first time, I think for the first time this game, ahead economically. He's in a better position. For the first time this game. Now getting his 5th. And NightMare is hitting his stride. He's hitting his stride here. With that, we're going to be able to max out. Both players should be able to max. And what kind of compositions are we going to be working with? Okay, so quickly checking here. There's no disruptors, and there's only 2 Colossi. It's a little bit concerning. Typically, we want to go up to 4, so only 2 Colossi. So NightMare's splash damage is a little bit limited here. It's a little bit limited. Maybe his hope is that Ryung overinvests into Vikings. But so far, Ryung has 6, soon to be 9 Vikings, which is fine. Once again, NightMare, he's ready for a counterattack. Zealots are spotted. Ryung, I think he noticed. Yeah. Ryung, this time he did notice. Spots the charge lots. Fusion cores on the way. This will be for Liberators, for Liberator range. For Lib range. And again, NightMare now he's up in expansion. We go 5 to 4, 5 bases I mean, to 4 expansions of Ryung. There's up on bases, nice CMP. First Colossus goes down. This is what I was worried about. There's only 1 Colossus left. Only 1 Colossi. Vikings, they shut it down. Storms are a little bit too late, and Storms are not connecting. Yeah, we get 1. Oh, yeah, decent Storm towards the end. Vikings, they need to land, or we just have to get out of here. Yeah, one or the other, as that's a lot of Vikings. There we go. They do end up landing. Nice concave here by Ryung, and Ryung, he does dominate that fight. There are 4 High Templar left. Oh, good. 4 Templar remaining. Nice feedbacks. There's still a couple of Storms. Storms, they try to be thrown down, but Ryung, he breaks through. He breaks through. He overwhelms, and Ryung, he will break the 5th, and he will take the series. Whew, denies the warp in. Again, a very intense game. GG gets called, and Ryung, he will take the series 2-0. He'll advance on to a qualifying match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense game here out of Ryung. He was very aggressive, very high octane. And again, Ryung, he took a lead. He took a lead very early on, able to get, what was it, 14 probe kills? It was like 12 to 14 probes with his early 3-max timing. And with that, he took an economic lead. He crippled NightMare early on. And Ryung was almost, but barely, wasn't able to kill NightMare. He was being hyper aggressive with his aggression, with his bio army. Eventually, NightMare did stabilize. There were some really nice moments for NightMare where he was able to outposition, where he was able to get on top of Ghost, where he was able to go for counterattacks as well as Ryung was pushing out. Shout out to the MVP observers. The observers, they provided a lot of vision, a lot of information to NightMare to allow him to collapse on the army or to allow him to counterattack. So NightMare clawed his way back in, but even though both armies did max out towards the end there, NightMare didn't really have much when it came to his main army. It was very gateway heavy. He only had 2 Colossus. He had 7 High Templar, which is nice, but when you're maxing out like this, you typically want not just your Colossus count, you want to be switching into Disruptors. The reason why is that EMPs are, of course, very effective against High Templar, against spell-based units like that, or I should say mana-based units, energy-based units, but that's where Disruptors are going to be a must. Once the Ghost count gets high enough, once the Viking count gets high enough, you need something to deter, to delay, to zone, to get that splash damage. And then in the super late game, we work towards Sky Toss. But of course, that was nowhere in sight. Unfortunately, we're stuck with a very gateway heavy composition. GG gets called. Whew. And Ryung does claim the series. And with that, let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed.